What is up, everybody? It is the True Epic Gamer here, and we've got a really big problem on our hands. Nintendo is destroying Mario Kart. Here's why. Mario Kart used to be one of Nintendo's most polished franchises. So why does it feel like they've completely lost the plot with this one? In a game that was supposed to be the absolute biggest and boldest entry yet, Mario Kart World feels unfinished, empty, stripped of the very features that made past entries so beloved. It's like Nintendo is stuck in their own little bubble, slowly chipping away at what made the franchise great and not paying attention to anything outside of their bubble. Let's start with the Grand Prix mode, something that fans have loved for decades. You used to be able to race 4 carefully curated tracks, each with 3 intense laps where you learned something from each and every one. It was a formula that worked. But now, you're forced into these awkward, boring highway intermissions between each course. You finally reach the track, and what do you get? One single lap. That's it. The other 2 laps are just the highway getting there. It's like Nintendo honestly thought that the open world would be so amazing and so mind-blowing that no one would even want traditional races anymore. But how could they honestly believe that? This is the type of thing that makes me think they're in their own little bubble with no communication to the outside world. Because they could have talked to any and every Mario Kart fan and knew that this was a terrible idea. Racing full tracks is literally the core of Mario Kart and something that shouldn't be changed, and if it is, should at least have the option to play it the old way. And it gets even worse. For the competitive players, the ones keeping this game alive online and past its launch, surely the online multiplayer mode would preserve that classic structure, right? Right? No, wrong. Online races are still shackled to this broken structure. If you want a standard 3-lap race, you have to vote random and hope the stars align, because the other 23 players probably don't know this yet. It's going to pick one of their tracks and you're going to have to race those crappy intermissions. Nobody who cares about the competitive integrity and winning wants to race 2/3 of the match on an open highway. That's not competitive at all. It's an online experience that punishes the core player base and makes absolutely no sense. Now we move on to the open world, the game's headline feature. And I'll admit, it looks cool, but once you're in it, there's nothing to do, and I mean nothing. It's just a lifeless driving simulator where you collect coins and hit P-switches that last a few seconds. And the only reward is just lousy stickers. There's no real objectives, no challenges, no story mode, not even a small crappy one, which could have been amazing. They didn't even have to put much effort, and a story mode could have been awesome in this game. But they left it with no reason to explore or no reason to play it at all. Even worse, there's no map tracker for what you've completed. How are players even supposed to go around collecting P-switches if they can't see on the map the ones that they've already completed? It's frustrating and completely avoidable. It makes no sense in 2025 that a game lacks these basic features. Like, it just makes absolutely no sense. And it keeps piling on and on. There's no kart customization, which makes no sense. Everybody loved kart customization. It's a fun little feature. Why take it away? An awful character select screen. Why doesn't it give us folders with the skins? Instead, it counts the skins as their own characters, making it very cluttered, very annoying, not to mention that the skins aren't even very good in this game. They have extremely lame filler NPCs with no unique skins at all. Clearly they just threw those in last second and they were like, oh yeah, people will love this. And they were right. This game's main selling point was that cow. And don't get me wrong, it's cool that we can race as these NPC characters, but it would have been cool on top of an already good roster. Instead, it just feels like the game was getting close to release. They realized that their roster was kind of crap and missing a lot of mainstay characters from the past franchise, and they just started filling it with NPCs, which makes it kind of sucky. It would have been cool on top of a good roster, not just thrown in with an okay roster. They also made a pretty banger soundtrack with like 200 tracks and just didn't give us any radio feature whatsoever. Like, it could have been a basic one that just shows you what song you're listening to and gives you the option to skip. But instead, we got nothing, not even a label for what song you're listening to currently. Just kind of annoying. Basic features that could have been here and just aren't. This is an $80 game at the end of the day. Where did all the content go? Where is this massive budget and decade that they spent making this game? Where is it? Listen, I get it. Nintendo wanted to try something new. And parts of the open world are really well designed. But it's like they forgot this was supposed to be a game, not just a slow-paced driving sandbox. They could have looked at any number of open world games or even open world racing games that they could have drawn inspiration from. A lot of people keep bringing up Diddy Kong and Crash Team Racing that are like 20 years old. But instead, they overcommitted to an idea and then under-delivered on said idea. That just doesn't work, and now they're pretending it's too late to change it. They need to admit that they were wrong. Give us the option to disable those intermissions and race normal 3-lap races. You got to bring back the full 3-lap races. That is the number one thing that cannot go away. And purpose and progression in the open world. That's the only way you can have an open world. You have to have a reason to play it. You can't just make a pretty map and then give up and release the game. And start updating the game with real content. New modes, characters, and challenges, and they have got to be free. This cannot be paid DLC because people are already upset with the $80 price tag. If you start charging more on a game that's already just okay, people are going to completely lose it. Because under all these issues, Mario Kart World could be something great. The new movement mechanics are actually amazing. The potential is there. But it's on Nintendo now. Can they step up, admit their mistakes, and fix it? I'm worried because they've had trouble admitting their mistakes in the past. So I feel like they're going to just keep forcing it because if they change it to the 3-lap system, it's going to prove that they were wrong about the intermissions in the open world, which is just something I don't think they want to admit. I want to make it clear though, I do think that this is a good game. I know this makes me sound like a complete hater, and that is kind of the point of this video, is for me to talk about the negatives and why it's Nintendo's fault and they could easily fix these things. But I am enjoying the game at its heart, and I know it is a good game. It's just so lackluster for the time and money that people have spent. Let me know down in the comments below if you guys think Nintendo will save this game, or if you're already loving this game, which I know a lot of you guys are. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And as always, peace.